Green flag back in the air. Brendan Maddox, Adam Buzzio, the whole field chomping at the bit. Green flag back in the air at Talladega. The Lucky Performance Overtime rules reminding you that if we get back around to the white flag, this race is official. Buzzio with a push from Dyer. Maddox with a push from Hughes. Zach, I think we're going to get there.
I think we will. Coming back around, Buzzio leads the group. Through the tri-oval we go. No caution. Sam Dyer looks to the outside. Through wide for the race lead. White flag is in the air, presented by Whiplash Sim Cams. Sam Dyer is all by himself on the top line, Andrew. There is nothing that he can do. He's going to start dropping back, and Brendan Maddox is out in front by himself. I do not want to have a gap that big.
We'll see how this one works out. Maddox moves up, now moves down. That checks up the bottom side. Here comes Buzzio. Here comes Camper. Here comes Plord, all on the top side of the racetrack. Maddox now going to try and fight back on the bottom with a push from Buzzio's teammate. That's Hughes down low, and Hughes isn't pushing the lead. Now he gets there from a push from Mason Houseman to the stripe. It's going to be a drag race. Adam Buzzio, Dakota Camper. He's going to look down to the inside, and Camper is going to shove alongside of the 5. Dakota Camper, maybe? No, Buzzio's got to win this season.
Oh my goodness, what a finish.
Racing, and certainly sim racing, requires you to roll the dice on occasion, but some tracks ask that of you just a bit more often, and Las Vegas is definitely one of them. No matter who or what you bring here, it seems like this racetrack always throws you for a spin, whether it's for an epic battle or a bit of pit strategy. What will it be today for the All-American Racing Network? 200 miles is about to decide that for us. Welcome to Pit Stop TV in the virtual Las Vegas, Nevada. I'm Andrew Cardinale IV with Zach Murtis alongside, and it's a pleasure to join you for coverage of the Game Changer 200. Today's coverage is brought to you by Game Changer Golf Charities, by Bully Dog Coffee Company, and by Whiplash Simcams. Zach, I'm excited to be right back here on a Sunday morning, ready to go racing, sim racing that is, with the All-American Racing Network. It's been a couple of weeks since we were last here with these guys. It was back at Dover, literally exactly a couple of weeks ago. I know they ran at Phoenix last week, and it was Coulter Clark who went to victory lane after Jordan White won at Dover, so Whiplash Racing 2 for 2 in the last couple of races. But the rest of the field, they are looking to get back up on the proverbial horse this morning here at Las Vegas.
That they are, and Vegas. I like Vegas. It's always got some good characteristics that make it a fun track to run, and I think these guys are in for a real treat this morning. I say morning. Oh man, I can't believe it's still 10 a.m. in the morning. Daylight savings time. Oh baby.
It's basically 9 a.m. We're basically getting going before 9 a.m. this morning, given the time change here in the States. Apparently Jamaica doesn't move forward just yet, so or maybe at all. So Jordan White got an extra hour of sleep this morning. See, evening. I'm used to it, but yes, early morning here in the States for us. But let's take a look at the point standings coming into this race. Sean Hughes on top by 1 point, it looks like, and things are tight. This is the right. See, it's so early, I'm trying to run through my brain. This is the right points totals, I do believe. Regardless, Sean Hughes on top, not by much. Matthew Meekin right behind him. Mike Alley right behind him. Then a bit of a gap back to Mark Bender and Kevin Bullock and those guys. But they're all really tight through the top 10. It'll be the top 10 that qualify for the chase. And already that's looking to be a pretty exclusive group of drivers that are currently in chase contention. This isn't too important today. We're still so early in the season. Really what we should focus on is the schedule here, Zach. And here you go, Las Vegas here today on 134 laps. We are with these guys, I believe, the next 3, maybe 4 races straight. That takes us through Darlington, Martinsville, and Bristol. I believe Kansas might be in this group as well. I'm not entirely sure. I'd have to look at the schedule again. But, I say the schedule, my Google Calendar, literally, to tell me exactly which races we're going to do this season. But, yeah, we have the next handful of races straight. It's going to be a lot of fun. These are racetracks coming up that are quintessential in NASCAR racing, so we wanted to make sure we got to places like Darlington, Martinsville, Bristol, if at all possible, and then we'll take a small break. There's a couple of holidays in there for us, then we're back to it a little bit in the spring. I know June will be a little bit light for us here up at Stop TV. Of course, that just means the AARN is going to switch over to some alternate coverage. I believe Pirate Broadcasting, and for the life of me, I can't recall the other network name. But regardless, Zach, some really great racetracks coming up. Maybe some moving around as far as the broadcast goes, but we're excited to be here for a lot of these coming up.
Oh, absolutely. I'm excited to see what we have in store. I know there's going to be some great races coming up, and I mean, we're going to have a great race today. I'm excited for it. We've always got some great races here on Pit Stop TV, so I'm looking forward to seeing how these guys tussle and turn as the schedule goes on.
This is a fantastic little racetrack. I said little, 1.5 miles. It's one of the larger ones on the NASCAR circuit, and larger than we were at Dover a couple of weeks ago. Let's get into the iRacing.com sim here and get ready to go racing. Qualifying has just concluded. We are now in the race session, and oh boy, up front, we have got a very interesting front row, actually. Chris Etchepar going to lead us to the green today on today's ATVO starting grid. Chris Etchepar going to lead us right to lap number 1 of 134. It'll be Jordan White on his outside. Row number 2, though, Kevin Bullock and Casey Gross. Back in row 3, you'll find Christopher down on the inside of the 21 car. Michael Alley in a new paint scheme out on the outside. Back in row 4, Coulter Clark, Sean Hughes alongside one another, and then Zachary King and Robert Hissong will make up row 5.
Rolling outside the top 10, you'll find Adam Ramsey and Matt Opplinger in 11th and 12th, and then right behind them in the 13th and 14th spots, you'll find Jeffrey Johnson and Mark Hessel. They'll be rolling off in row number 7. Row number 8, you'll find Michael Ravolo and Corey Powell in 15th and 16th, and then 17th and 18th. On the starting grid, you'll find Justin Lanier and Clifford Allison, and then to round out your top 20, you'll find Justin Young and Mark Bender.
6 more cars on the entry list today. Nick Stein Cypher. That's a new name to me. Gregory Vadnice alongside in the 22nd spot. Doug Scalise will roll off from 23rd, then Tony Krieger in 24th, and your final 2 cars on the grid, Cameron Combs and Chad Fox. And if we go back to the 24 car, Greg Vadnice, he has got Game Changer Charities on his machine today. We'll try and talk to him during a caution and see what he's got to say about Game Changer Golf Charities and what they can do in the grand world here of, well, of the world. Really, they do some great work, and I do want to give him kind of the floor at some point to talk more about everything they mean to him. Meanwhile, Zach, as we roll down the back straightaway here, let's take a look at our Whiplash Simcams race details. 134 laps, 200 miles, and boy, 4 change sets. These guys have plenty of tires, they feel like, so long as the cautions fall the right way. 60% fuel out there, cautions will count, 3 green light checkers. It's all the same kind of stuff you would expect at this point in the season. And if we look at the quick MX Wraps weather conditions, here we go, 67.7 degrees in the air, 78 on track, clear skies above our Las Vegas Motor Speedway this morning. We are ready to go racing from Las Vegas. Here they go out of turn number 4 into the hands of car number 88. Chris Etchepar going to lead us to the green today. The Game Changer 200 about to change the game in the All-American Racing Network. Green flag at Las Vegas. Down the Nellis super stretch into turn number 3, side by side for second. Jordan White on the outside. That is Kevin Bullock down low. But Etchepar going to have the race lead off of turn number 4. And lap 1 is complete.
Single file as they run amongst the top 3, now top 4, about to be top 5 as Coulter Clark is getting clear on that outside line. Still fighting up front though. Everyone's really just settling in, feeling out how the early laps are going to go, and setting themselves up for 134 laps. There was one on the wall back there. Not sure who that was, but that was a decently sized lick as Etchepar sets the pace, but Zach King goes quickest on the racetrack now.
And King going to be side by side with Coulter Clark down the back straightaway. King around the outside, Clark down low. Pass made by car 51. That is good for 5th position. And it's early, Zach. These guys just trying to settle in, find their spot here early, and go through the motions. Literally, that's all you have to do here this early in the race. Go through the motions, complete some laps. Let the race come to you. There's no need to hustle this, especially without stages. I think people forget there are races without stages. This is one of them. You don't need to rush straight to the front. There's a long ways to go.
Long ways to go. Oh, you got that right. What time is it again?
10:06 a.m. on the Eastern Seaboard.
Rhetorical question. But Etchepar is stretching his lead out. Jordan White, you can see him running a bit of a different line. Etchepar seems to be glued to that white line, whereas White is glued a little bit further up as the fight for 3rd heats up. Bullock and Gross are trying to see what they can do, as Zach King is licking his chops saying, you guys keep it up, because I'm going to steal a spot. He is looking on the back bumper of that 77 car. He's looking to the top side, seeing what he can get done. And I've had the pleasure of coaching Zach King a little bit more through Murders Esports and helping him develop that skill. So it's nice to see that he is putting those lessons to good use right now. Well, the only thing I can say to the man is be patient. Please, please be patient.
Patience is key in a race like this, that's for sure. As Zach is looking high and low to try and get by this 77 car. Grabs the wall just a bit there on entry to 1. And it looks like Jordan White is starting to put some pressure on our race leader, Chris Echepar. We'll keep an eye on that, but for now, watching the battle for 3rd position, rather 4th spot. Casey Gross, Zach King, and Coulter Clark. And now leader is starting to get going. White was looking low the entire corner there. Echepar ran high. And there are other battles. Let's take a look at those quickly. Sean Hughes, Michael Alley side by side here into turns 1 and 2. This is for 7th position. Behind them, Chris Foote, Robert Hissong, a few other guys. There's Adam Ramsey. They're battling for about 9th, 10th, and 11th. But Zach King has just gone by Casey Gross. Coulter Clark now going to give it a shot.
This is one of the cool things about Las Vegas. So
Caution.
I was about to say multi-group racing, but now they're going to get single file under the pace cars. 1 car around, it's a 12 on the front straightaway. That's Chad Fox. You can see some damage on that left front of the race car as he rolls through the grass to get it back on the racing surface. Is he crab walking a little bit? No. Yes.
It looks like it's driving mostly straight. I
How's
say
the wheel,
mostly.
though?
It's definitely got some damage. Hard to say he's in the corner here, but
Give it to the straightaway, I say. I mean, it looks straight.
Chad Fox racing back here with the 2 of Rovillo, it looks like. Off of turn 4. Boom, outside wall. Rovillo nowhere to go. Down through the grass they both went. And Fox slowly back up the racetrack. Boom, outside wall. That's where he came to rest.
There is minimal damage on that race car, so all looks to be okay.
You see the incident for Fox and Rovillo. Rovillo able to keep it mostly straight. He locked the brakes down for a good while and got it back rolling. But Chad Fox, bit of a hit there to the outside wall. Nothing too crazy. I mean, he diminished a lot of speed before he got there, Zach, but that's still going to do damage, of course, as some pit stops, perhaps. It seems the 51 of King is coming in. He's going to bring a handful of others. It seems maybe his teammate in the 92, that's Corey Powell, will come in. That'll bring Greg Van Nice and a handful of others that are towards the rear of the field. So we'll let him get through this pit stop, but we'll go ahead and bring in Van Nice here in a second, as long as he is in the Discord. I guess I should... Yes, he is. Up there at Evolution Racing. So we'll grab the driver of the 24 quickly, if Discord allows me to do so. And Gregory, I just want to check in with you here early. Of course, the 24 car adorned today in Game Changer colors, and of course this is the Game Changer 200. So I wanted to check in with you, kind of see what Game Changer means to you and why they're the sponsor of today's race. Greg Van Nice, do you have a copy? Well, we'll see if he can get his mic sorted out. Greg, we are not able to hear you. We'll move you back up to your team channel, try to check in a little bit later as the 24 car works on that. Zach, that was a little bit of anticlimactic moment, but we'll see if we can check in with him later on as the 24 runs here in 21st spot. Right behind Zach King and just ahead of Corey Powell. That's okay, these guys are doubling up, ready to go back racing. It'll be lap 13 when we restart with Echepar and White on the front row. I'm going to ask you a question, Zach. I think I know the answers. It's too early to take tires? Uh-oh. Is anybody hearing me today?
No, I'm here. I just had to think on that for a second. I think yes. It is far too early to be taking tires right now. I think you're only 12 laps into the race. There's no reason to be putting on a set of tires. If you don't have a limit on change sets, then by all means, go take some tires. But if we do have a limit on change sets, which I believe we do... 4, yeah. So there's no reason to take tires right now. You need to make those tires work for you right now.
These drivers will get back racing off of turn number 4. Jordan White chose, well, I guess, rather, Chris Etchepar chose high. Jordan White ended up filling in to the bottom, and here we go. Restart zone coming up for these drivers. Etchepar waiting to launch. Jordan White chomping at the bit. Restart zone. Green flag once again at Las Vegas. White went nowhere. And Zach, that's the trouble of restarting side by side with the race leader like that. I think it's an advantage to start in row 2 versus whatever the non-leader position is there in row 1.
It has its benefits. Though it looks like Etchepar has got it all locked down. I say that, Jordan White to the bottom.
And to the
New
race
leader, 14 laps in.
That was a commanding move through turns 1 and 2. White just pointed the car low, gassed it up, drove right on by the 88 car. So bad restart did not get him down. He immediately surges out ahead of Chris Etchepar and takes the race lead away here on lap 14. Car 83 to the point. Etchepar and Gross your top 3. Clark sitting in 4th. Hughes and Bullock just behind. You see it's mostly single file through the top 10. There goes Sean Hughes down to the inside of Coulter Clark. Battle here for the 5th spot.
Side by side up off of 4.
Oh, in the wall.
Oh, Clark's gonna grab the wall.
Got it really hard.
I wouldn't be surprised if there's a considerable amount of right side damage on that race car. Stays clear of the L1 of Bullock, and he's going to try to charge back to the bottom, go after Hughes. Now to the inside of Gross in that 77 car. Clark's going to try it on the outside again. He's got to run. And Etchepar's going backwards. They're 3 wide. Oh, that's going to be really tight.
Hughes ran Gross up. They slowed down. Coulter Clark takes a 2 for 1. Here comes Kevin Bullock trying to follow and do the same. 3 wide now for the 4th spot. My goodness, these guys are racing. Bullock goes right on by on the inside. Keep in mind, these guys are on old tires as Coulter Clark takes it up to 2nd place. He gets past Etchepar. This is fantastic racing. Etchepar, though, goes high again, loses another spot. Bullock throws a slider. Pass gained.
He hit the apron.
These guys are all over.
Everything and everywhere, all of the time.
It's not even lap 20 yet.
Ooh, I thought we were going to go 4 wide for a second, but we're back to 3. Back to 2 now. Gross with a run on the outside. Etchepar still down there on the bottom. I just realized it's a Dale Jr. throwback to 2012. But there's contact.
That's not going to work. Hang on,
contact.
everybody. Wow, I'm glad they saved it.
But look at the damage on the front end.
Of the 22, Mike Alley.
Yeah.
Etchepar got tight, got up into Gross. They checked up. Etchepar got hit there by the 22. The 88 is having some trouble right now. He has got worn out tires. He is headed back in a hurry.
Going further and further backwards.
He's starting to fall back to the guys with tires. Rather, it looks like just fuel. Zach King just took fuel on his stop. Christopher Foote did take tires, though, and that's something you probably don't want to do this early. So battle here for now the 11th spot. Battle as well for 3rd, or 2nd rather, and 3rd. Coulter Clark, Kevin Bullock. Here's your on board with Bullock.
Trying to chase down Coulter Clark as much as he can. He got really tight right there off of 2.
He's going to fall into the clutches here of Sean Hughes. And you know, Zach, I think we reacted pretty largely to those guys getting the wall earlier in this run. Even right there, Hughes grabs it a tiny bit. Let's remember, we haven't covered a lot of next-gen racing since the BRB Racing Series moved away from it on Tuesday nights. We've been getting a lot more ARCA, some Gen 3, or Gen 4. I don't know why I keep mixing that up, but Gen 4. And then, obviously, short track racing. So, I think what we've forgotten is these cars are tanks. They can hit the wall, keep going. I don't know what it is. Yes, you can easily bend a toe link, but for the most part, you can grab the wall a few times in this car and be okay.
For the most part. Just got to make sure you hit it square rather than hitting it head on.
Elijah Mopin out in the YouTube chat. At least I think that's Mopin. I'm not really sure. I suppose he can correct us as he's not racing today. He's in the YouTube chat watching along. Might be on vacation or something. It is that time of year, Zach. Spring break, all that good stuff. I'm sure there's a few drivers on or going to be on vacation soon. There's this battle here for the 6th spot. Opplinger down low in the 82. That is Cameron Combs up top in the 15. Combs started on the very last row of the grid today, Zach, and here he is, nearly top 5.
Yeah, pushing himself forward. Looking on the back bumper of Ramsey here. Now looking to the outside. Such a hard move to make on the front straightaway to go to the top side. Turn 1 and 2, I feel like the top side is really, really beneficial, as you can see just how much that 97 of Ramsey pulls on entry, but look at how much he gains on exit from Combs. And then just right down to the bottom. It's so hard to make that move on the front straightaway to set yourself up for turn 1 because you lose that momentum switching up to the high side. But it looks like Combs was able to get the run down the back straightaway and get to his inside. And, well, there you have it. Up into the 5th spot goes Cameron Combs.
Combs gets on by that 97 car. Oh, grabs the wall there on the back straightaway, but he will get in line behind the 0-1 of Bullock, who eventually loses that 3rd spot to Sean Hughes. So change up there as Bullock, I think, is starting to go the wrong direction. Love when these guys get super close there on corner entry. That's how close they are off the corner from the right rear corner there of Cameron Combs' car. He's going to go back low. You see the 0-1 just a lane above. Maybe some contact there through 3 and 4. They get it sorted out. A lot going on back here. Justin Young, yeah. Hard in the outside fence.
And he's got some big right side damage on that race car. We do not get a caution. We stay green.
I don't have a caution, but we can find out what happened here for the number 20 car. This is at a turn 1, racing with Robert Hissong in the 29. I saw timing and scoring lighting up, green and red. I signified there were some cars slow and some cars passing them. Here it is, turn 3. Hissong in the 29, almost contact there, and then into turn 3. Just a mismatch of lines, and boy, that was not actually as hard of a hit as I was expecting, but still decently hefty for car 20.
Absolutely. Still going to be some big damage on that 20 car.
It seemed like he turned in thinking his song would be lower on the racetrack, and his song was trying to get back to that same line. That's unfortunate for those guys. Just about 30 laps in. Well, we'll be here at a lap. Jordan White leading the way here in the Game Changer 200. Coulter Clark, his teammate, sits in 2nd. Sean Hughes, Cameron Combs, and Adam Ramsey for top 5. Bullock, Opplinger, Gross, King, and Allison, the rest of your top 10. I do want to look at the CC's Business race stats here for just a moment. Where you see the 1 caution so far for 3 laps, 1 lead change in these opening 30. 104 laps to go. Plenty of time to get it done. 203.9 total miles in today's race per the iRacing.com sim. Oh, Chris Romano letting us know he slept just a little bit too late. 5 minutes too late. I've been there. Believe me, I have been there. Romano's been great in the standings, by the way, Zach. At the 44 car, he has been lighting things up. There you see, top 10 coming into today. This is going to hurt him. But I think these guys do have drop weeks, as a lot of sim leagues do. So he's going to have time. Even so, Zach, there's so long left in this regular season. He can get back in there. I think Romano will be okay. Elijah Mopin, they're in 13th. He'll be all right. But these guys have time to get back into it.
Oh, they've got plenty of time. I think a race or two isn't going to hurt them too much. They should be able to keep on rolling on. I know the chase format promotes consistency, so they've got some time. But as we roll in to lap 34, we're starting to square up on what would be green flag pit stops.
Yes, these guys have a 60% fuel load. Justin Lanier is hitting the pit lane, and I think this is going to be the beginning of our pit cycle. I do believe we're going to see more and more of these guys pit in the next 5 laps or so. Some of those guys that pitted under that 1 caution, they might be able to go a little bit longer, Zach, but pit stop certainly about to get busy as Bullock just lost a spot. He falls down to 7th. Right here ahead of Casey Gross and Zach King. Offlinger moving forward. But your top 5 at this stage of the race: White, Clark, Hughes, Combs, Ramsey. How will that compare to the first few laps after pit stops?
It's hard to say.
And when do these guys come in?
I'm gonna have to do some math in my head.
I feel like the pit window should easily be open. Or at least these guys should need fuel soon. I really, truly feel like it.
Pit window should be open. 37 laps, 38 laps is the usual that you would think of, but I don't know.
These guys, so a cup car can typically go 50, 55 laps, I feel like, on an intermediate. I don't think you can go much longer than that, as here's a battle for second place. Clark and Hughes. 1 more pits this lap. This is going to be Kevin Bullock in the 0-1 into the pit lane, but battle for second. Coulter Clark trying to shut that battle down. Does not want to give up second place. And he will hang on to it just a little bit longer. Hughes, though, started to inch closer there through turn 4, but no change as there's one pitting. Clifford Allison in car number 7. Now, Allison has been running on Thursday night, Zach, in the North American Racing League in the AM class in those GT3 cars. So he's been trading his oval car, his Chevrolet Camaro here, for a Porsche 911. And it's been cool to see a little bit more crossover. Even Jordan White got out there in NARL this past week, and look at that, Jordan White coming into the pit lane here, lap 38. And our race leader has pit. And of course, this will be 4 tires and fuel. There's no way these guys take 2 right now. No stage to worry about. Fill the car up, put 4 tires on, go back out there, try to do the same thing.
Here in the 77's coming on in, so oh, he missed his box.
That's going to cost Jourdain big time. Coulter Clark coming in, Sean Hughes in. And let's see, this is an opportunity now for Jourdain White. If he's able to get his box perfectly here, Zach, he can easily, I think, get enough time to pass Jourdain. Let's see. Coulter into his box. A little far forward, but perfect. Perfect. Good enough for the crew to start.
I prefer that, honestly. Farther forward means that it's a shorter launch out of the box. Clark's up on the Jack Ford tires. Combs is into the pit lane now. That promotes Zach King to the race lead. And Coulter Clark is out and away. Where is Jourdain White, though?
There he is into turn 1. That's Clark down low.
It's going to be close.
White's,
actually, probably no contest
so there's
here.
Hughes. Caution.
Caution is out. That is going to help greatly for the 51 of King, the 21 of Foot. Oh my goodness.
Half the field is trapped a lap down. Coulter Clark, the first car lapped currently. Then Jourdain White, Sean Hughes, everybody else. As I'm unsure where the caution came. I saw Echapar was slow, but I think he was in the pit lane. That's the problem. We have all these guys pitting right when the caution comes out. It's hard to tell exactly where the caution was. But I did see these guys with some trouble. Let's see if this was it. Where's the caution already out? Who is that?
Oh.
That is Nick Steinzeifer. He had just pitted.
Did he just spin off the pit lane?
Yes, sir.
We're sure that was the caution?
I mean, that's what I'm finding so far. I'm shocked if that is the caution. It's down out of the way.
That's kind of what I'm getting at.
No
He's
reason
off the
that
racing surface.
should have been the yellow, I feel like. Let's see. Where's the... Are the pace car lights on yet? I don't see pace car lights on until he spins. Okay, well, let's see if we can get the actual pace car here. Bear with me. So, here's the pace car.
There goes Gross. There goes Steinzeifer.
And wait for a time. There's the lights. So if we look around this racetrack, that's not going to help us. Do we have a fisheye here? We do. That's not going to help us either. Let's do this. Let's literally go through the field. We can just click through everybody. This is what technology does for us. And we can see if anybody else is spun anywhere. I suspect the answer is going to be no. Wow.
That is interesting.
You're telling me we can't hardly get a caution on the backstretch at, like, Kansas? But this is a caution?
The iRacing gods are shining in the favor of those who are on the alternate strategy today.
I'm sorry, there is no way that should have been a yellow. Based on the precedent set by iRacing, there is no way that should have... Honestly, that might need to be reported to iRacing. That might be an area of the racetrack that is sensitive to cautions when it shouldn't be, because there is no way. In my 10 years now in iRacing, there is no way that should have been a caution. But obviously it helps the 81, and that part is great for him, but that is just... I am shocked, as we'll get the wave around for all these guys who are caught one lap down, including Sean Hughes, Jourdain White, and so many more. Coulter Clark was able to get the lucky dog. The problem with that, Zach, is that comes with an EOL, so he will stay towards the back of the field. I don't think he has to let the wave around cars go by him, but I might be wrong.
I'm just sitting here flabbergasted. I'll tell you. For those who are confused as to why we are confused, see that white line right there on the right hand side of your screen? That is the separation of the racetrack and the apron. When a car spins below that white line, they are deemed off the racing surface, meaning iRacing's own algorithm will not throw the caution flag if the track is clear, otherwise the racing surface. So for a car to spin off the racing surface and a caution come out, flabbergasts us. Only way to put it. Well, lights are off on the pace car, Andrew. Here we go.
Restart zone coming up. Zach King, Chris Foote, Greg Van Nice, Doug Scalise, your top four. Green flag back in the air. Zach King leads us back to the green. Now, Zach, in all of our broadcasts, I think we're pretty used to it at this point when a wife or friend, even a sibling, is watching along for one of these broadcasts, cheering on whoever it may be. Today, Mama King is out there. Zach King's, at least from what I could tell, her name on YouTube is Lillian King. I would assume that's his mom. Watching along
Mr.
today.
Zach King texted me this morning and said that his mother would be watching. Said to say hi. I'm saying hi from the broadcast booth. She knows me from being in that man's ear for the last couple of weeks on Friday nights and coaching him through some races through the Emergency Sports program and being a spotter and giving him some friendly tips on how to be better on the iRacing.com sim and bringing him up through that Emergency Sports program that we are slowly starting. In fact, there are a few drivers in the field today that are looking to start going through the Emergency Sports iRacing program. So it's nice to see that one is out in front and leading today.
We don't have any Murders Mega Misses currently, Zach, but we're always on the lookout.
That we are. I feel like we may have some nominations later on in the race, but to be perfectly honest, Andrew, I am full well and content with this race staying green and rolling forward as the alternate strategy is starting to take its stranglehold on the field now, because now we've got these guys like King, Foot, Scaleless, all of these front runners that stayed out because they pitted earlier on, so they're going to have to pit. Oh, what? If I'm doing my math correctly, 37 plus 12.
Well, battle for the race lead here, Zach. Battle for the race lead. Greg Van Nice to the inside. The 24 car got his nose ahead. I think he might have led that lap. It was close as he just charged up underneath Zach King out of Florida. Van Nice back down low. And these guys are all mostly on the same strategy. Remember, it was the middle of the pit cycle. Everybody who hadn't pit yet completed their stop under that caution. But for the most part, everybody had pitted, or has now pitted rather, so they're all on a similar strategy. Some can go a little bit longer, some pitted a little bit earlier. Justin Lanier, of course, led that cycle off, so he has the least amount of fuel after taking that wave around, but for the most part, everybody's pretty close. There's a 3-wide battle back here. Look at this. Oh man, Justin Young in the middle. Robert Hissong watching it all. That's Echapar right there. That was tight.
If I was Echapar, I would just be on cruise control right now. He is, at the moment, fighting to be the first car one lap down. Young is that first car one lap down, so don't get into anything too hair-raising as the fight further up the field. This is Coulter Clark trying to go after Mark Bender. Down to the inside, seeing what can be done. As Ramsey's on the back bumper, Bender's in the wall.
You see Bully Dog Coffee Company on the side of that 33 car. They do a lot here for the All-American Racing Network, and Bully Dog Coffee Company, founded by Patrick Bowler with nearly 2 decades of experience in the coffee industry. Bully Dog Coffee Company turns the process of making coffee back into a ritual, better supporting your caffeine needs and local dog shelters in the process. Order your first pound of Bully Dog Coffee Company for as little as $15 with promo code FAST10 at checkout. Battle for still the 5th position. Bender trying to hold on to it. I'll tell you what, man.
Clark,
if Mark,
big send into the bottom.
If Mark Bender gets a top 3 today, I think we should all get some coffee.
I don't know about you, but I don't drink coffee.
Well, the option will be available to you. There we go. There's some partners for the series. Bully Dog Coffee Company, MX Wraps, Happy Pet HQ, Game Changer. Oh, Clark starting the side draft there a little bit. You know, Zach, I added the graphic for the sponsor list for us. I did not add the button to remove it. That's what happens when you're up doing graphics late at, 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning after a long day out at Hickory Motor Speedway. Regardless, here we are, racing still, lap 55 of 134. See the top four relative to single file. These guys are still racing back here. Tony Krieger with some company on the inside. That's Sean Hughes in the 75. Hughes, I feel like, is steadily just very, very solid so far in this series. Almost like he's going to be one of the rocks in the chase fight and everything else. Like, you can always count on him to be in the mix, as he is running here so far in 10th, but of course we saw him up in the top 3 earlier.
That we did. We saw quite a few people up in the front of the field earlier on as Hughes is moving on by on that outside line, getting the car underneath him. That was Krieger, very tight by just pulling a little air off the side of the car and just quickly moving back further through the field. Just needs to find a way to get back up there towards the race lead.
Look who else is sneaking through here, Jordan White. Of course, these guys were caught off guard by that caution. They had already pitted. So that completely threw things off. So White's trying to get back to the field. Gross, Hughes, all these guys that were towards the front prior are trying to get back through as Chad Fox is in the pit lane. He had to take the wave around last caution. It got him a lap back, but he's still 4 laps down. And this is certainly going to hurt the 12 car just a bit more. It's been a rough day. I believe the 2, 22, and 12 are all teammates. There's the 22 of Alley, yeah, Dirtport Racing. So they are all having a rough day. Rovilla was already towards the rear of the field today. They are having a rough day, all 2 laps down or more between those 3 cars. Meanwhile, we saw Chris Echapar earlier towards the front. He has gone a lap down through all of this. He is now in 23rd spot after starting on pole today and leading a handful of laps earlier. We certainly hate that for Chris, but there's more time to get back in the race. And then Justin Young also 1 lap down as he runs currently in the 22nd spot. Zach King still leading here on lap 59, make it lap 60. And of course, we got used to seeing him on Tuesday nights in the BRB Sundance Pro Series for a little while. Ended up not racing in season number 5 this past season. Did some races with us in the broadcast booth, and then has made the transition over now to Sunday mornings with this All-American Racing Network Next Gen Series. I did it again, Zach. I am like an octopus right now trying to find the right button. Here we go.
It's too early in the morning for this. I say early, it's too early in the morning. We're pushing 11 o'clock right now on the East Coast, so we should be fully awake by now and in the midst of things and preparing ourselves either to go to church or to watch the NASCAR Cup Series at Phoenix later on in the afternoon. It's a nice blend of things, and I, for one, need to make sure that I'm starting to get up earlier on Sunday mornings.
Battle here. Ramsey, Bender, his song on the outside. Car 29 going for it all here. Wow, big run out of that Ford Mustang Dark Horse. Gets up alongside Mark Bender. He will take that spot away. Casey Gross now trying to find a way by the 33 car. Bender was just around the top 5, wasn't he?
Close to it. Yeah, because he was fighting with Coulter Clark.
Right, I made the joke that if he gets top 3, we got to all get a bag of coffee. Apparently he heard that and is trying to save Patrick Bowler some product because he got out of there in a hurry. He's now down in the 13th spot. Things are tightening up, though, for the race lead. Foot starting to look low. Vad Nice there on the outside. He's back in this fight. And Coulter Clark actually making a pass on Douglas Scalise. This is for 4th position. I suppose we still have Doug in the running for a top 3 today, as he carries the Bully Dog colors in that number 16. By the way, Douglas Scalise is kind of the guy to make this whole world go round here in the All-American Racing Network. He started deep in the field today, 23rd spot. Just hit his high in 4th position and has now been passed for that 4th spot by Coulter Clark. I mentioned Sean Hughes kind of being one of the rocks of this series so far. He's climbing through the field once again in this battle for 5th position now with Combs and Scalise. So certainly a top 5 is back within question for Hughes. Jordan White not far behind.
Just fighting it out. We're approaching halfway in this race.
And there's the move to the inside.
We should start seeing some pit stops soon, to be perfectly honest. We're starting to get within that window, I think within the next, what, 10 to 15 laps, potentially?
Yeah, these guys won't pit just yet, but they are about 10 to 15 away as they go by one of the lapped cars. I believe that is Justin Young, perhaps? Or, no, that's the 81, actually. Nick Steincypher going a lap down, who had that caution under that pit cycle, brought it out, and reset this entire race. Meanwhile, for the race lead, Christopher Foote, I haven't talked much about him. He is riding here in 2nd spot. Started 5th today. Caution.
Back straightaway. Oh, no.
He was
That's the 20 of
already
Young.
He was already a lap down, but Justin Young, a lot of left side damage. That tells me, Zach, he has met the inside wall, possibly.
Pretty good guess. We saw him up on the racing surface, so maybe he bounced off the wall in some way, shape, or form.
Racing here with Mark Bender, it looks like. Bender just caught his left side. That's a big hit.
That's a really big hit.
Oh my gosh. We've got one. We got
your
two.
First nomination.
We've got 2, Zach. 2 Murderous Mega Misses here out of this one. You'll see here, Bender just trying to side draft the 20, ends up hooking him. Gotta be careful with that. Wow, Mark Helso. Wow.
Oh,
that was
my
incredible.
goodness.
One more look here. This is off the left side of the 20 car. You'll see Bender come into frame and just, I mean, he just hooked him. Obviously not intentional, Zach, but you've got to be way more careful. The first car to go by and miss was the 45 of Mark Helso. So here is your very first Murderous Mega Miss of the day. Boom, there's the 20 on the inside, and then here's the miss. Right, oh my gosh. There's for the 45, and then the 25 of Justin Lanier back here. And again, from Lanier's perspective back here, it's all fine until suddenly there's the car on the inside. There he goes into turn 3, and ooh.
Whoop. Oh, man.
Very close there for a couple of cars. Meanwhile, pit stops. Everybody getting service. At least everybody that's on the lead lap. That'll extend it down through the 59 of Jeffrey Johnson, who is new here today. Matt Opplinger has also pitted. Casey Gross in the pit lane. Casey trying to hang on to the lead lap, and it looks like Echapar as well has come in for service. He'll get down and away. Gross finally leaves his box. He'll hit the racetrack once again. While we wait on this restart, Zach, I want to take a look at what's upcoming for us here at Pit Stop TV in the next week or so of racing. And there you have it. The next 3 shows here on the channel. Tomorrow evening, we head out to Martinsville Speedway, Ridgeway, Virginia. Always fun. to go to the paperclip, but we'll be doing so with the Nora Retro Cup Series 2003 NASCAR Cup cars. I'm excited. That's going to be a classic short track race. A trip back in time to what they are emulating as the 2005 NASCAR Cup Series season. Then Friday, get a few days off in between. Friday, we go racing with Steering Wheel Nation at Daytona International Speedway. Tom Baker and company spearheading a new initiative with Steering Wheel Nation to begin an iRacing league. It's all moving fast. You can get involved for just $10 a month and get on the grid for these Steering Wheel Nation races. And then Sunday, there you see, back to a new race with the All American Racing Network. That'll be at Darlington. Back to the restart zone here, Zach. 70 complete. A whole lot more to go. Green flag back in the air. Zach King gets us back racing. Top three out to a run away from the rest of the field. That is King, Combs, and Clark. Jordan White through to fourth. Contact behind. I'm not sure who that is. I think that was Van Nice. It was Greg Van Nice, along with the 01, I believe there, Bullock, or was that Hughes he got into?
Not too sure, but I assumed that we were going to have a caution there, but we stayed green on the racetrack. Whew, that was scary.
I'm going to look back at that. That was a big moment for the 24 car. Greg Van Nice, outside lane, boom. Outside wall, boom. Into the 75. Everybody hung on to it, though. That was a great job by the 24 and 75 both. And it was then Sean Hughes that got hit, not Kevin Bullock. There they go. Back off of turn number 2, all chasing that number 51 out ahead. His teammate, the 92 of Corey Powell, is... I'm looking for him. He's down in 14th spot. So it's kind of feast or famine right now for Meatball Motorsports. I think they're trying to work on getting that 92 towards the front of the field. Actually, Corey Powell now having some connection issues. He's back, but he just dropped down. Tom gets scoring, blinking there for a second. Meanwhile, battle starting to pick up for the 3rd spot. These are technically a couple of teammates. Coulter Clark and Jordan White. We know them as racing a couple of different teams over in the BRB Sundance Pro Series on Tuesday, Zach. But here in the All-American Racing Network, both entered under Whiplash Racing. And so a battle for 3rd starting to pick up between these couple of Toyota drivers.
Trying to find their way forward. Jordan White trying to roll that bottom line the best he can behind Coulter Clark. Maybe see where he can go to make a move, but it seems like they're just kind of falling in line right now, working their way back up to the front of the field. King continues to lead over Combs, who is kind of just sitting there holding up the train at the moment. I'm not going to say that Combs is going slower than these guys or that he's holding them up at all. He's just kind of backing them down a little bit, I'll say. Giving himself some room as he taps the wall right in front of him. That's some right front damage on both the 54 and the 15.
On board now with Coulter Clark. Now, when BRB came here, granted it was in ARCA cars this past season, Zach, Coulter was really, really good. I mean, race winning kind of good. Didn't quite get the win. Ended up winning later in the season at Michigan International Speedway. But Coulter can get it done here at Las Vegas. I'm not sure if maybe it's a racetrack preference thing for him or what. After getting the win last week at Phoenix, anything is possible for car 54, of course. Jordan White just 1 week, or I guess 2 weeks now removed from his last win. That was at Dover. Meanwhile, King is still looking for his first. And for King, we've only seen him win on Pit Stop TV back at Atlanta Motor Speedway, rather Echo Park now. That was, what, season 3? of BRB?
I believe so. Yeah. Oh, yeah, he did get that win. Gosh, that was a long time ago. That was, if I'm not mistaken, our first full season coverage.
Yeah, I believe that was the
BRB
fall.
Pro Series.
The fall or winter of 2024.
Wow. Things to think about. Time is flying by. You know what else is flying by? The lap count. We are getting closer and closer to the end of this race. We are within the fact of it being a one-stop race the remainder of this stint. These guys all pitted not too long ago. If I'm not mistaken, they could roll to about lap 100 and then put themselves in contention for the remainder of this race. Lap 95 is where the fuel window is going to open. You can see in the bottom right of your screen the CC's Business race stats. Got a good look at those. Well, bring it on back. 3 cautions for 9 laps, 4 lead changes in the 80 laps that we've run so far. We've got 54 laps to go. And 203.9 mile race as the fight for the lead. Andrew's starting to heat up. Coulter Clark has reeled him in, and Cameron Combs is on the back bumper at 51.
Battle for your whole top 3 here. Combs looking low through 1 and 2. And now Coulter Clark's alongside, nearly 3 wide off the corner. Clark now side by side for 2nd spot. That's what Zach King wants to see to a point, right? He wants him to fight. He does not want Clark to get clear, which it looks like may happen.
I gotta say, this 51 car is doing a great job right now. He is defending both lines beautifully. He ran the top line in 1 and 2 to take the air off the nose of the 51. Now he's down onto the bottom, taking the air off the nose of the 54 car, which is going to put them side by side, but here they come. We're going to be 3 wide. King stuck in the middle. He didn't block the way he should have off of 2, and that's going to cost him. Cameron Combs way up the racetrack. Coulter Clark with the slider into the corner. New race leader. That's a 2-for-1 deal. The opposite direction for Zach King.
Clark just shot by on the inside and shut all of that down for Zach King. Now it's side by side for 3rd. This is Jordan White now on the inside.
Start losing a ton.
You get freight train pretty quick. And I think it affects you mentally. To lose the lead like that, it affects you in the head. I mean, it gets under your skin. You start thinking, oh man, maybe I'm not that good. Big time check up there for the 51 of Zach King. Led all those laps, and then suddenly the tires started falling away, and he got swallowed up. Meanwhile, Coulter Clark takes over the race lead now, lap 85 underway. Combs, White, Hughes, Ramsey all following. And you were on the money, Zach. These guys can go right around to lap 100. If you can go a little bit deeper, I think you might want to. Maybe to 105, just to give yourself a little bit extra fuel, just in case we end up in a green-white checkered situation, as battle picks up now for 2nd place. That's White to the inside of Combs. Sean Hughes looks on in 75. White barely gets clear. Combs gives him a shot. I-15 is going to get tired of these guys pulling sliders on him and kind of stopping on his nose on exit.
Getting a little dicey up the front, I'll tell you. I will tell you as well, Ravolo in the 2, switching gears a little bit, he ran out of gas getting to his box. He is 4 laps down right now. Already starting to see guys take it to the pit lane, so I would assume that we'll start seeing more takers here relatively shortly.
Just want to say, Lillian, if you're out there watching still, cheering on Zach, our moderator and my fiance, Kayla Brianne, was out in the YouTube chat. I think she misclicked on one of your comments cheering on Zach King. It was not intentional, I've been told. She has been blowing up my Discord chat. They can sure I know it was not intentional. She did not mean to do that, but there she is. Oh man, YouTube chat can be
Mistakes
stressful
happen.
sometimes. Yes. Battle here for third still. Combs and Hughes side by side. So, you know, I was mentioning, Zach, I think you want to go longer if you can. I think if you're Zach King, first opportunity at the pit lane within range to the end, you want to take it. He
Absolutely
burnt those tires up a little bit. I think he wants to pit sooner, and then he needs to save those tires. But he needs to get the track position over these guys from pitting early to try and get back ahead of them to save kind of his track position in his race here. He's already going behind the 21. Now contact there.
Ooh.
Zach gets into the 21 of foot.
I think he tried to slot in right behind him and just didn't get behind him as fast as he thought he would, as Hissong has now worked his way up towards the 51 car into the top 10. He's going to roll around that top side. I think this is the part of the race where you're starting to figure out that you might have burned your tires up ever so slightly at the front of the field, and now starting to feel what's going to end up happening, which is you're going to slide further and further down. There you see him grabbing the wall a little bit. He's getting tight in the corners. I think a caution flag would definitely work in his favor at the moment. But we're starting to get within that window, Andrew. We are well in that window. Well, I said 95. We are about to be in that window.
Oh, in the wall there. Sean Hughes just grabs it. See Jordan White has fallen down to the 4th spot. 75 car going by, and this is a good little fight actually between 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. As Jordan's going to try and get a run. He kind of got going there for a second, but doesn't really materialize. It's 2 Chevrolets versus a Toyota here off of turn 4. Combs up the racetrack a little bit. Oh, man. These guys stress me out, man. They are getting way up the track out of turn 4, and I feel like they're always going to hit the wall, and then most of the time, I mean, probably 95% of the time or more, they don't. And you have the guys who do touch the wall, and it scares me each time. Watching here with Christopher Foote dropping down to 7th. Robert Hissong is moving through this field rather nicely. There he is now up to 6th. Started this race 10th. He was as low as 17th. I don't recall where he was going into this run, Zach, but he is just slowly and methodically moving his way by all these guys. We saw him racing with King a little bit ago. Now he's gotten by the 21 of Foote. Now he looks at the 97 of Ramsey. Hey, what's the saying, Zach? Slow and steady? As there's Sean Hughes. He's been in the wall.
Slow is smooth and smooth is fast.
I was just talking about these guys scaring me, getting close to the wall, and Sean Hughes has been in that wall. He is checking up big time. He's losing these spots now. There goes Hissong up into 4th. Something is wrong for the 75 car, Zach. I was talking earlier about him being solid and steady, kind of like a rock of the series. Well, here's his issue. You see Combs at the racetrack, dirty air on the 75, boom, wall.
Oh, that's a big impact for the 75. I wouldn't be surprised if the toe link's knocked out on that one. Yeah, he's holding that steering wheel to the right.
It's just a little bit wishy-washy. When he comes out of 2 here, watch how the car acts kind of over the transition off the banking. Just a little bit kind of back and forth for a second, and he's turning a lot more to the right to keep it straight.
Yeah, now he's back to the 01 and the 51 of Bullock and King. They're all fighting for the 8th spot, 7th really.
And Hughes is going to hold it down low, let these guys find their way on by.
Oh, he's not going to let them find it too easily. Bullock down to the bottom. He had to go to the apron to find that space. Now and he's going to roll on by. Is that King stuck on the top side?
King not able to get by. That's the 01 now down low of Kevin Bullock. You guys are still just stuck in the dirty air of the 75 car. Oh,
Bullock comes, almost puts King in the wall. That was tight racing right there. I think Hughes. Hughes still has a little bit of speed in that car, and he doesn't really want to give this up. He wants to hang on to the track position this late in the race, and that's causing the 01 and the 51 to really go at it here for this track position. I think if Hughes drops to the bottom in here, you've got to try to roll that top side.
King's got to run.
He's really slow, slow through the center. 51 to the top side. This is what Zach King needed. Bullock is stuck down on the bottom line, not really able to go anywhere, and now that 51, clean air in front, just roll top side, roll it steady, and he's going to roll back on by Hughes, back up into the 7th spot. That 75 continues to drop further back now.
Meanwhile, Robert Hissong still moving through the field up to 3rd. He just got by Jourdain White. Jourdain falling back now to the 5th spot. That's going to allow the 21 of Foot to go by. So the 83 starting to drop down the order. Meanwhile, Coulter Clark leads still. He's been out front for a handful of laps, Zach, and pit window is definitely open. When do these guys want to pit? I maintain that if you're Zach King, I think you might want to pit now. Get your tires on, get back out there, try to get some track position out of it, especially in case of a caution. Otherwise, I think if you're Clark and whatnot, try to run this out at least a handful more laps. And look at that, King is in. Oh no! Oh my goodness! That is not how you enter the pits.
See. Backs it back up onto the pit lane, but I don't know, Andrew. That could be a black flag for an unsafe pit entry.
It's going to be a compound of black flags. Unsafe pit exit because he left the pit lane technically, and then unsafe pit entry. And who knows, maybe even some speeding in there. I don't know. It's going to be race over if this goes green for car 51. He's going to need a couple of cautions to get back into it. I want to see, though, the onboard coming into this. Listen here, what did he do wrong?
He woed it up, just too hot into the pit lane. Trying to charge the pit entry, he just locks up the rears and snaps the car around.
Really hate to see that for somebody that was doing so good today. And I mentioned he might want to pit early, try to take a swing at the pit strategy here. He did exactly that and then ended up paying the price. Well, here's Jourdain White in the pit lane. He has heard us, and he has come in for tires. So he will get back out there slightly sooner, runs through every pit box he can on the way in. Nice little straight shot as there is, I believe that's Bender in the 33. It is. Bender is 1 lap down already. Robert Hissong now in. So we're starting to see these guys that were moving through the field hit the pit lane. Tony Krieger is in.
Here's the saving grace for the 51 car. No black flag, Andrew.
Well, did the admins clear it?
No, just never got a black flag.
How?
I watched. I was watching to keep tabs on it, and he went into his box. He took his 4 tires. I'm looking at my race control pylon, and no black flag for the 51. So must not have sped into the pit lane, and looks like he's going to be able to keep on rolling. Now, granted, he did spin into the pit lane, so that's going to cost him some time on the racetrack. It'll be interesting to see if he's able to even hang on to the top 10. But up front, Coulter Clark, here we go. Into the pit lane goes the 54 car. He is going to get it woed up. Nice and easy.
Ramsey also comes in. If we have any other takers here, it looks like Casey Gross is going to hit the pit lane. Coming a little bit hot. Blowing it down here. Right to pit speed. So now the race leader as it stands is 15 of Combs. He's coming in. Foot's going to keep going. How long is too long, though, Zach? I know I said these guys want to go as long as they can. Try to have tires and fuel a little bit later in this race, but how long is too long?
I say from the first car that pits, no more than a 5-lap difference. Unless you're really committed to the long-run strategy.
And so this is 5 laps, now 6 for Foot since King pitted.
If you're committed to that long-run strategy or committed to staying out, praying for that caution, keep staying out. That's fine. Do you, man. But if you feel like this race is going to run green, it's high time you head to the pit lane.
Well, here's Cameron Combs. Coulter Clark, Jourdain White have already gone by. So that's the difference. He stayed out about 4 laps longer than White, 1 lap longer than Clark, 3 laps longer than Hassan. Clark, White, and Hassan are all together now for the top 3.
And
That's the
Foot
difference.
is into the pit lane. 21 down to the pit lane.
Sean Hughes also in the 75. He is already getting service, along with Corey Powell in the 92. Clark has cycled now to second. Yeah, you got a good point. 18 seconds, it looks like, in the box for Sean Hughes. 18.1. So Clark has cycled through to what will be the race lead here off of turn number 4. It's Jordan White in second. Robert Hissong in third. I think the 29 certainly has more pace on the long run than the 83. But I don't know if he gets to the 54 car or not, as there they go by the 21 of Foot for the race lead. Coulter Clark has cycled back to the top spot. And, I mean, certainly right now, Zach appears to be in position to win this race. But I think it depends on this battle for second. I think if White is able to hold up Hissong, that certainly is going to help the 54 car, but Hissong might have just enough on the long run to get up to that 54 car. It's 1.4 seconds, about 25 laps. It's certainly doable.
It is. I think for sure that it is. You've got to try to find a way to push forward, though. His song's definitely closing in on Jordan White, and with about 25 laps to go, 24 at the line. There's still a lot of time left in this race. Zach King just had a moment out of turn number 2.
So here's your lap times for your top 4. Coulter Clark, last lap, a 29.9. Jordan White, a 30.1. His song, a 30.1. And Christopher Foot, his lap is now updated to a 29.4. And that was his fastest lap of the race. He's 5 seconds back, though. And Clark is now in that traffic you see ahead with the 59 car and one other. That's going to be the 51, actually, of Zach King. How about that? And that holds Clark up a little bit that lap. His song was just barely faster, but Foot a half second faster than each of these 3.
Wait, did you say you put Zach King a lap down?
He did. Or rather, was that...
Sir, that was Corey Powell. They have the same paint scheme.
I could have sworn that was the same number on the 92. Okay, it's the same number font. It threw me off. Yes, that's Corey Powell that has gone a lap down, not Zach King. Zach King runs about 16 seconds behind the race leaders. There he is. He runs in 12th.
Yeah, just got into some contact with Scaleless through turns 1 and 2, so that dropped him out of the top 10. But as they run, Coulter Clark is the fastest of the bunch. These top 4 drivers.
Well, no, Foot is.
Hold on. Oh, okay.
And he. So
I saw the 777s.
What I was trying to get to there is Foot. I say he's further back, 4 seconds back, but he is lapping faster than these guys, especially as these two begin to fight. Into the wall goes his song. White was not trying to give him daylight there into the corner. Foot's lap times, though, starting to level off. There you see that lap was a 29.996. That was much closer to these other 3 up ahead. We'll continue to watch these lap times.
We're talking specifically top 3. Coulter Clark still remains the fastest of the bunch. Yeah, I'm looking at the lap times as they click on by. Definitely still Coulter Clark. And even that time by, he was faster than the 21 a foot. So, starting to really stretch it out. Find his footing here. Onto the back bumper again. His song gives a big shot to the 83 of Jordan White. Didn't want to go for the move, just wanted to give him a big old push down the back straightaway. Rolling up off of 4. Do we see a crossover?
I think Robert wants to go for the move, but he's trying to be patient. Jordan threw a block there down the back stretch. And here we go, through turns 1 and 2. How's this going to work out? Just enough space to keep them apart for now. There's the 59 car of Johnson that they will move on by. He's lapped down. Oh, check up there for the 83. That was not a good one off the corner. He's trying to block a little bit. Running out of space.
There he goes, outside line, his song.
Robert Song's got the outside. This is pass made for sure. That 29 car has been great on the long run today. Jordan White trying to hang on to
contact.
it. Trying to hang on to it. Back down to the inside, but the outside I think is going to be too strong here. Certainly off the corner.
Rolls that bottom line still, trying to find his way forward. Past this 29 car. The more they fight, the more Coulter Clark is able to drive away from these guys. 2.2 seconds out in front of the 83 and the 29. Jordan White threw it in there. He's going to wash up. Tries to keep the momentum, but no. Pass is finally made for his song. He is up into the second spot. White's going to throw it in there to try and hold some sort of pace with him. He's going to bring it back on the bottom.
They're not done yet, and they are right behind that 59 car of Jeffrey Johnson. And he's dumping dirty air all over both of these guys. It changes up lap to lap. Now you see it's going to hold up the 29 car. His song in the wall, trying to get by that car. Oh my goodness. Robert, his song cannot be happy with that. Christopher Foote now within a second of that 29 car. This could be a three-way battle for second here soon.
Now it's the lap car's duty to be predictable and to be able to just stay out of the way. So when you've got cars fighting behind you, it makes it really difficult to find a way to move, but did all he could. I think his song just tried to think that he would be able to rip around the top side and didn't exactly work in his favor. One car spinning back straight away. Look, was that Jordan White? No, it was not. But back on the racing surface and the caution is out. Oh my goodness, this changes everything.
It was Alley here in the 22. And he's going to tow. He had just pitted, Zach. He was on a separate strategy due to being a lap down. He had just pitted.
This is coming out of the pit lane. He's going to hit the bloodline, but he's already sliding by the time he gets to the bloodline, and he just spins right back up onto the racetrack.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness!
Well, that was why he towed. Jeffrey Johnson ran right into him. These guys are all trying to miss that now. Wow.
Oh my goodness.
So we saw the spin there out of the 22 car. There he goes, sliding, spinning. Here comes Johnson. Man.
I don't know.
That's tough.
I don't know what to say there.
He thought the 22 was going to keep coming up the racetrack, it looks like, and so he pulled it low, but he ended up steering himself straight into the crash. If he had just stayed where he was going to go right on by. Instead, he target fixation. Wow, that's a couple of massive hits.
Couple of massive hits indeed.
Let's go back and get the onboard here for Jeffrey Johnson. Of course, those guys were trying to pass him. Right after this, we'll get back to live picture as pit stops are wrapping up for these guys. It seems Foote has stayed out. Everybody else pits. Johnson here, if he had stayed high, he'd been fine. Instead, ends up turning straight into the crash. That is... wow. So Foote stays out, and the rest of the field will exit just behind him. There's Coulter Clark and everybody else. What do you say we try dialing up the 24 one more time? We'll see if we have any better luck here with Greg Van Nice. Greg, do you have a copy? Well, no dice there, it seems, for the 24 car of Greg Van Nice. His mic not operational today. What we can do is check in with somebody who might have just been saved by the bell a little bit. Let's bring in league owner, actually, Douglas Scalise, and let's talk to driver 16. So we were trying to dial up Greg Van Nice about the Game Changer charity here, Doug, but you're going to line up here about 7th on this restart, 6th with the cars that have tires. It looks like you took 2. What's the thought there?
Yeah, I opted for the 2 here just to see if I could gain a couple couple spots on the track here. We've been hovering around 10th, 15th for the day, and at 12 laps to go, or a little under 10 laps here at the restart. I figure it's worth the gamble.
And Doug, on the league owner side, away from the racetrack, of course, it means a lot for you guys to have partners like Bully Dog Coffee Company, even Game Changer today, and coming up soon, Mercatees. How can someone that wants to get involved with this series get involved in that way?
Yeah, they can go to our website, allamericanracingnetwork.com. There's a form there that they can submit. It'll go right to our email, and we'll take a look at it, and we can partner. And we're all about, local events, local companies, and a lot of charity events coming up here as well in the next month or two to give back to all of our local organizations.
Good to check into the year. Best of luck on this, what could be the final restart.
Thanks, guys.
We'll move Doug back up with his couple of teammates, and here we go. Zach off of turn number 4. Christopher Foot on old tires. Everybody else either has 4 or 2. Restart zone, green flag. 11 laps to go at Las Vegas. Down the backstretch, there goes car 54. I kind of figured that might happen, Zach. Coulter Clark straight to the point, and I think Foot kind of shot himself in the foot. But these other guys...
Is that a pun?
Unintended in this case, for once. But all the rest of these guys on tires, they're about to have a heck of a race.
They're going to try. A lot of fighting throughout the field. Everyone just trying to find their footing. That was not a pun.
Ah, see? His song around the 21 car. Here comes Combs and Ramsey. It's just no contest. Tires versus none. It's no contest. The 21 is going to drop and sink.
Oh, in the wall behind him. Off of turn 4. That's just outside the top 10. They're spinning
big
and wrecking.
crash.
That's a big one.
Mark Bender and a bunch more. Hellcell, Allison. Etchepar gets checked up for it, and that might bring him back to 2 laps down, but a couple of big hits for these guys. This might end up helping the 21, but I don't know. I mean, should he pit or not? We'll find out. This is off the corner already. Let's maybe go a little further back with this next shot. Oh my gosh, big hits though. Let's go a little farther back and kind of see how this starts. So you see the 7 checking up down low. That's Clifford Allison. The 33 in the middle is Mark Bender. The 45 outside is Mark Hellcell. These are the 3 guys that really crash here. Off of the corner. Oh, there it is. Bender got the 7. That put him up into the 45. And then off the corner, more contact. And Sean Hughes had nowhere to go. That's awful for Hughes. We saw him be so good earlier in the day. Of course, we saw the damage he picked up in that last, long green flag run. There's the contact into the corner. He's just trying to mind his own business and get all he can here at the end. Gets punched up into the wall by Justin Lanier, and then off the corner, it doesn't get any better.
You hate to see it for Hughes. He was in a good position throughout the majority of the race, and it seemed like one domino after the other kept falling and falling, and it's not going to end the way that Hughes wanted this race to go. And now we're setting ourselves up for a late race caution, a late race run to the end. I'm assuming that this should be 2 to green right here, which means we would get 1 to green next time by. So we would go green on lap 130. We will go green with 5 laps to go.
If that holds.
As Etchepar gets the free pass right there.
That'll put him now 2 laps down. Let's bring another driver in here. Somebody that we were making some unintentional puns about. But Christopher Foot, 5th place now for this upcoming restart. You've stayed out. Of course, we saw that on the previous caution, too, and you started to drop like a rock there. But how can you hold these guys back these last couple of laps? And do you want another caution to help you with that?
Actually, no, I didn't want another caution. I messed up the first time I went down pit road. I just wanted to get fuel, but I took tires too, so I don't have any more sets of tires. So I don't know if we'll have the grip to hang with these guys.
Yeah, I could have sworn I remember somebody pitting there early, and we didn't expect it, and now it lines up. That was you. So, obviously, on a back foot here. Pun not intended again. That's the third one now in the last 10 laps. But, you know, on this restart, what are you looking to do? How are you going to hold these guys back? Obviously, it's difficult, but there's a chance.
I'm hoping I can clear a guy so I can start running the top of 1 and 2 and try to carry speed down the backstretch and just hold on to the best finish we can get.
Well, best of luck here. I know it's been a long race. You've been kind of up and down, a handful of laps led. Best of luck.
All right, thank you.
And that is Christopher Folt moving back up with his teammates over there at Revolution Racing and see what he can do here on this potentially final restart. Zach, I know I said that last time, but this really has the making of being a final late race restart. And boy, can you imagine if it's these two fighting for the win? Throw in his song and Combs for a little extra fun. These two front rows. This will be exciting to the end right here.
It's going to be interesting, I'll tell you. Jordan White has been relatively fast compared to Coulter Clark. I think Clark has had the edge over that 83 car majority of the race, but...
Oh, definitely, definitely Clark, I think, has speed, but that doesn't mean that Jordan can't get the best of him here on this restart. I will say...
Well, Race Control just gave him a warning.
Jordan White?
Race Control just gave they just gave him a warning for the way he's kind of running Coulter Clark down the track a little bit, and they're bunching up to the pace car.
I think he's just trying to get closer to hear the engine for the restart, but here we go. Green flag on the way. 5 laps to go, but a wheel spin there for Jordan White.
It.
5 laps to go at Las Vegas. Only 4 laps to go this time, Zach. You know what we have forgotten to do entirely?
NRL driver of the day.
We sure have. Who you got?
Coulter Clark and Jordan White. There you go. Actually, Coulter Clark and Jordan White.
With that in mind, the top 2 getting nominated. Let's see who's gained the most spots. Easily Cameron Combs. I already had that in mind. Easily Cameron Combs. 21 spots up the order. Even Doug Scalise, I think, are easy locks. We'll lock him in. We'll get that vote up for you here in just a moment on YouTube. Cameron Combs, Doug Scalise are my picks. Ramsey in the wall. Bullock into him.
Bullock.
Oh my gosh. Down through the grass. Can he hang on? No caution.
We stay green.
Wow. 3 laps to go.
Coming to popsicle sticks this time by. Jordan White has closed that gap to 0.2 of a second, under 0.2 of a second. His song is right there in the mix. He's trying to find a way to get up to those top 2. Maybe try to find a way to get this race lead. I don't know if it's going to work out, Andrew. If the caution's going to come out, it's got to come out now. 2 to go.
Christopher Foot has fallen back a bit. He's back in 5th place. Timing and scoring's all over. It's getting crazy here. 2 laps to go that time by the flag stand. Down the back straightaway. Can Jordan White get to Coulter Clark? Can his song take over? The top 4 under a blanket. And that time Clark gets a run into 3, but off the corner, what's it going to be?
Jordan White is going to get a big run here. Closes up. White flag is in the air. One more time around, presented by Whiplash Simcams. It is within 1/10 of a second. The 83 to the 54, they are teammates. How are they going to race each other? Coulter Clark runs down on the bottom line. White runs topside. He gets tight, pushes into the wall.
Off of turn number 2, down the backstretch. White goes high this time. Coulter Clark goes low. And off of turn number 4, nobody's going to stop the 54. Coulter Clark wins back-to-back races in the All-American Racing Network Next Gen Cup Series. Back to victory lane for car 54. He won at Phoenix a week ago. Wins today at Las Vegas.
White's going to hang on for second, but it's a nail biter with the 29 of his song. Rolling down the running order. Combs gets fourth. Scaleless gets fifth at the line over foot. King seventh. Krieger eighth. Oh my goodness.
Well,
that was a nail biter of the last couple laps.
We'll, of course, get a full look at your race results here in just a moment. We'll be talking to your whole top three. Clark, White, and his song. Cameron Combs got close. No dice for the top three spots, though, as Coulter Clark gets his chance to burn it down at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. 2 for 2 in the All-American Racing Network, putting the league on notice. And the Pit Stop TV, Toyota Camry, burns it down. It was not always his race, though. Jourdain had it in control there for a bit. For a little while, it was even Zach King out front. And he's going to hit the reverse burnout, Zach, Tyler Reddick style.
I feel like that's a new thing now that Tyler Reddick started doing that.
Rear wheels looking like they're spinning. It's weird how iRacing renders the reverse, but looks like he's just kind of creeping down the racetrack, but you can hear the engine going wild. 9,000 RPM, and there it goes. Oh, Jourdain White going to help push him back around a little bit. White doing some burnouts too, and they'll park it there on the front stretch. I do want to go back and, of course, take a look at the race results, but, man, it was close, and here we go. Coulter Clark with the race win today. Led 47 laps. Yeah, again, he didn't dominate this. I think he was certainly probably the strongest, but he never dominated this race. That there were always other guys up towards the front with him. So I think this was definitely still a wide open race in regards to the league. It could have been a handful of guys in victory lane at the end of the day. Jourdain White, second place. Robert, his song, man, you know, if that had gone green, if we hadn't got those late cautions, Zach, I think he might have had something. Cameron Combs there in fourth. Doug Scaleless at top five. How about that? Our 4 driver of the day nominations go top 5. You can still vote, of course. Coulter Clark, Jourdain White, Cameron Combs, Douglas Scaleless, all finish in the top 5. Christopher Foote, I think, would be a great honorable mention, but he just kind of, well, shot himself in the foot, Zach. That time it is intended. He took no tires, of course, because he couldn't. Because he took early tires in this race, and that's just the way it goes sometimes. Zach King ends up 7th. Great run for him, considering the botched pit entry. Tony Krieger is able to grab 8th. Greg Van Nice 9th. And Adam Ramsey completes the top 10 today.
Rolling outside the top 10, a couple of guys that we thought were going to be further up the running order. Casey Gross, who was running in the top 5. Oh, excuse me. He's going to end up being in the 11th spot. Matt Opplinger settles for 12th. Sean Hughes, who we thought was going to be a strong top 5 contender, ends up in the 13th spot after quite a bit of damage on that race car. First it was a tap to the wall, and then it was getting involved in a late race wreck, and then Corey Powell, teammate to the 51, he ends up in the 14th spot after going a lap down earlier. Justin Lanier ends up in the 15th spot with Clifford Allison in the 16th position. Kevin Bullock ends up the first car, or the last car, on the lead lap, and then Chris Estrapar, first car 1 lap down, 2 laps down technically, in the 18th spot. Mark Hessel ends up 19th, and then Michael Ravolo ends up in the 20th position after running out of fuel on the green flag run.
And back in 21st place this morning, there we go, Chad Fox in 21st spot. Mark Bender, Jeffrey Johnson, Michael Alley, Nick Steincypher, and Justin Young all out of this race early. Those back 4 at least. I think even the back 7 really out early after that crash there towards the end. It's the way it goes. You'll always have a few drivers out of this race early on. Definitely some crashes today. But I gotta say, this is a massive turnaround from Dover, Zach. We had a lot of self-spins on restarts and stuff. These guys, they have figured things out big time in just a couple of weeks. So, fantastic turnaround for this whole league. Let's talk to our top 3, of course, leading off with our race winner. He won last week at Phoenix, but today does it on Pit Stop TV. Coulter Clark, that's gotta feel good.
It does. It does. It's great to go 2 in a row. Definitely showing these guys I can come out here and contend for a win every week. So, just gotta keep doing stuff like this and try and make it to the chase.
And I know what the immediate reaction is going to be, that, oh man, this guy comes in, he's new, wins 2 races, he's going to start dominating the whole thing. But I don't feel like you ever dominated that race, and frankly, I think it easily could have been open to any of the 3-4 guys even behind you. Why was it that you ended up out front, though, at the end of this one?
I think we just had a better pit strategy. Some of those guys kind of messed it up, and bad times, cautions early in the race really just set us up good. So I don't know, getting lucky was kind of it, but I feel like I was pretty consistent to stay where I was and stay in contention.
And of course, behind you, Jordan White, you've done plenty of racing with him over the years, and going into that last corner, last lap, obviously there was a chance he could have roughed you up, but he ran you clean. How's that feel?
It feels good. I knew he wasn't going to race me dirty, but I did think he was going to get to me. But then I saw him clip the wall there on exit, and he and I both knew he wasn't going to get back to me. So yeah, it feels really good. So I definitely owe him one.
And of course, next up, Darlington. Is that a place where you can go for 3?
Darlington's not really a track I enjoy a lot. I haven't had a good pass there, but definitely gonna go try. I'm gonna be up front, so you never know.
There you go, Coulter Clark, 2 for 2 in the All-American Racing Network. Congratulations, Coulter. Hopefully we're talking to you again soon.
Thank you.
A big win for car 54. He gets it done over teammate Jordan White. And this is now the second straight time that we're talking to Jordan after one of these races, Zach.
Absolutely. Jordan White brings it 1 spot short, but not from lack of trying. Threw it in there on a couple of corners, and from the looks of it, you pushed a little tight, but still kept it in there. How's it feel to walk away with the second place here at Las Vegas?
I mean, it feels pretty good racing with my teammate up front. We gave each other a lot of room. We raced each other clean but hard, and that's what you want as a team owner. I think Andrew might have been a little bit scared for if we touched, but we kept it clean and got a second place. Coulter was definitely the better car, better driver today, though. So I got to put in a little bit more work to keep up with him. But yeah.
Well, the work is never done when it comes to learning and progressing, whether it be on the real racetrack or on the iRacing.com sim. And you have certainly come a long way so far in this series after it went off at Dover, and then moving into these next few races. Obviously, your points total is looking well in your favor. How does it feel rolling into the next race that you've still got a clear margin above the rest of the field?
I mean, we're getting a lot of points a week, so got to make the chase, right? So we just got to keep digging. I don't want to just make the chase. I want to be near the top 5 in points, as I assume there's more bonus points and whatnot. So you don't want to make the chase and then have to play catch up again once you get there. But the next track is Darlington, and I mean, my first time at Darlington was in BRB, and I felt like I had a really fast race car then. So hopefully I have a really fast race car next week.
Absolutely. Well, looking forward to seeing you back on the racetrack again soon, and hopefully seeing you back in victory lane.
Jordan White with a solid second place finish today, and 24 laps led for the 83 car. He easily could have won this race as well. Glad he was in the mix for it. But Robert Hissong, I think, might be the surprise of the day. Robert, up front there at the end, nearly had a couple of chances to go for the race lead. What would you have needed to go differently for you to get up there and get this win today?
I think it just needed to go green the rest of the way, because I was really good on the long runs, and my tires really wouldn't come in till about the 15 lap mark, and that's when I could really start making a lot of headway. So that last couple yellows there just kind of hurt my chances, and it just, I trend to be a long run car at this track particularly. So just move on to next week, go to Darlington, and hopefully I can keep this momentum of top fives going. I need to get myself out of a hole here early in the season.
And we saw that long run pace that you're talking about. It seemed like you were blowing guys' doors off there towards the end of that really long run earlier on. So how do you take that, bottle it up, keep it going for places like Darlington and some of the short tracks we have coming up?
Just keep it off the wall and don't make any mistakes. I made a couple mistakes early in the race, and I think it was the 20 of Justin Young. I got into him into the corner. Just I turned, car went straight, and I turned him, and I don't know if he wrecked or whatnot. A yellow didn't come out, but I do want to apologize to him because that was all my fault. So gotta minimize the mistakes and tighten some things up, and hopefully we can keep finishing up front and maybe we'll put it in victory lane one of these weeks here soon.
And of course, we do our driver of the day contest, our vote each race. I'm not gonna lie, we kind of forgot about it today, but we got it in still. You're the one driver in the top 5 that wasn't in that. Does that mean anything to you guys? Like, do you want to be in that vote for bragging rights?
Bragging rights don't really matter to me. I just care about the results on the track and showing up, getting up front, leading laps, being consistent, because that's what's going to win the championship. So, and I think I started in a little bit of a hole after the first couple races. So just looking for some consistency and string together a couple good finishes and hopefully get a win here soon.
Good answer. I like it. Of course, we would have got you on there on the vote if we had more than 4 options, but it was tight. We did see your long run pace, Robert. Good to see that out of car 29. Best of luck as the season goes on.
Thank you. Appreciate you guys.
Oh, didn't mean to move him out right there at the end of the words, but Robert has sung a great day today at Las Vegas. And again, Zach, he's got a ton of pace. I think we saw that in that long run. Bottle this up and take it to, heck, Kansas, Texas, any of these mile and a halves. I think we have to consider the 29 car now one of those drivers to beat, just like a Coulter Clark, a Jordan White, a Zach Ging even.
Absolutely. I think we've got some clear, defined drivers that we know are going to be contending at the front of the field throughout this season. And I mean, it's even reflected in the point standings. Going into the chase, you've still got, we're at Vegas, you've still got 20 races until you get to the chase.
21.
There is still open and ample time. Yeah, 21. Well, yeah, 21. 20 going into next week at Darlington. And I think we're in for a good stretch of races that are really going to be a test to these guys. You know, you've got Darlington coming up. It's a very technical racetrack. It's a very hard racetrack to handle in the next gen race car. Snaps loose quite frequently, and then you go on to Martinsville, where you're going to have to make sure that you are maximizing your shifting ability because it's become a 4th gear, 3rd gear racetrack. And then you go straight into Bristol, too. I mean, we're going to a technical track, 2 short tracks, and then Kansas, 1.5 miles. So there's a lot to take away going into the next few races that I think is really going to be a testament to these guys and their skill level.
And looking over my calendar of the races we are covering, trying to get an idea of exactly where we'll be. Also, by the way, Dash for Cash qualifier race was today. I will get to that in a second. But, of course, we're here at Las Vegas today. Next week we have Darlington. We'll be live at Darlington, Martinsville, and Bristol here on Pit Stop TV. So we have the rest of the races this month. Then we will be out for Kansas and Talladega. Kansas falls on Easter Sunday, and then Talladega falls on, well, our moderator and my fiance's birthday, Kayla Brienne. I can't believe I couldn't think of that for a second. My brain just completely... Kayla, I'm sorry. Regardless, we're back at Texas then on April the 19th. We're out for Watkins Glen. No, actually, there's a week off in there. Kind of surprising. We're back at Watkins Glen May 3rd. Then we will miss North Wilkesboro, unfortunately, Zach. I know that's going to be a big one, but that falls on Mother's Day. We will then be back with the series on May the 17th at Charlotte. And then that's where we're going to miss a few here on the channel. We come back after Charlotte at Sonoma race 18 for some road course racing. We're back away we pick right back up at Chicagoland. There's a week off there for July 4th. We continue at Chicagoland, Dover, and Indianapolis. We'll also have a break for Iowa here on the channel. We're back for Richmond and New Hampshire. And then we hand Michigan back over to the alternate coverage. We're back for Daytona for the regular season finale. We have most of the chase here, the playoffs, on the channel this season. We'll have Darlington and Gateway, which is St. Louis. We'll be back live for Bristol, race 29, and then Kansas, Atlanta, and Charlotte. And then again, looks like the one other race we'll be missing, Zach, is going to be Phoenix. And then we're back for Talladega, Martinsville, and Miami to the end. That's kind of a rundown of each of the races we're going to be at. But again, right now, what you need to know is we've got the next three here on the channel. Darlington, Martinsville, and Bristol. Three fantastic racetracks. As I said earlier, Zach, that's quintessential NASCAR right there.
Just about.
And of course, one more look at what's upcoming for us here at the channel. Martinsville Speedway tomorrow night. I'm excited, man. I always love going to the pay-per-clip, whether it's in reality or on the sim here. I am so excited for this. I've already been watching the race from 2005 that Jeff Gordon won. Did not seem like he was going to win that race. Zach still was able to grab the win. That was a good race, honestly, to go back and watch through. A lot of great storylines, and I'm excited to kind of relive a little bit of that and write our own storylines tomorrow night with the Nora Retro Cup Series. I'm very excited. 2003 NASCAR Cup Cars, Martinsville. That's quintessential NASCAR as we get ready for, as well, this Friday evening, Daytona International Speedway with NASCAR trucks for Steering Wheel Nation. Guys, this is a great event, great league you can get into. $10 a month. We've put out some social media feelers and stuff, some promotional feelers and whatnot. $10 a month, less than technically. And you can get subscribed to Inside Groove Podcast, or Inside Groove Pit Pass, rather. That's what it is, Pit Pass. And you can get into the community. You can get into all of these Steering Wheel Nation races all year long. They've got 13 races coming up with the trucks and some modified races in there, particularly at Oswego Speedway. It's a bunch of Northeastern guys, but don't be afraid if you're wherever in the country to get into this league and get racing. Zach Murtis, you're going to be race control.
Yes, I am.
I'm excited.
I'm really excited for it, actually. I haven't been race control for a long time, so it's nice to kind of step into that role again and just be a little bit more, instead of in the driver's seat, more in control of the racing, we'll say. I would hope that I do a good job. I'd like to think that I'm not exactly the worst race control in the world, so I'm going to do my very best.
I'm excited for it. Well, we're going to do a quick runoff vote while we talk about a few more things here at Pit Stop TV. We had a tie so far, so I'm going to set this up quickly for a runoff vote between Coulter Clark and Douglas Scalise, because we are not decided yet for driver of the day. So give me 2 moments here, Zach. But of these races, what are you looking forward to the most?
Oh man, I couldn't even begin to describe what I'm looking forward to. I just love racing, man. Racing itself is just exciting to me. So you could give me front wheel drive Volkswagens at, I don't know, South Boston, and I'd still be happy, even though they don't exactly put on the greatest racing, in my opinion. It's whenever you just put cars on the racetrack, for me, it's something that I look forward to. And I think all three of the races that we have upcoming here on the Pit Stop TV broadcast schedule is three things that I'm looking forward to. And there's always plenty of places to follow along. pitstoptv.com, facebook.com/pitstoptv, instagram.com/pit_stop_tv, tiktok.com/pitstoptv1, twitch.tv/pit_stop_tv, youtube.com/pitstoptv1, and x.com/pitstoptv_. So many great places to follow along with Pit Stop TV. So many great places to follow the racing action that we cover here on Pit Stop TV. So if you're looking forward to racing like I am, be sure to follow along, because there's so much great stuff coming up.
There definitely is. We had a great race today here at Las Vegas, and a bunch more are on the way. Of course, Darlington coming up for the series. And it looks like the runoff vote is going to quickly be decided, but I'll leave it for just a moment here while we thank our partners with this series, of course. I'll have to do the graphic stance with this, but that's okay. You see All American Racing Network, a fantastic partner here at Pit Stop TV, and partnering with them, Bully Dog Coffee Company and Patrick Bowler, MXWraps.com, the Maddox Brothers, Happy Bet HQ, and of course Game Changer Golf Charities. They were here on board today for the Game Changer 200. A big thank you to, well, give me a moment to do the graphic stance here quickly. A big thank you to our partners, though, here at Pit Stop TV. Let me hit all the buttons I need to. There's that one. Here comes this one. We can go ahead and get this back up. There we go. And then there's our partners with the channel. I'll have that fixed very quickly. But Whiplash Subcams, MX Wraps, ATVO, Murder Esports, CC's Beats, and the North American Racing League joining us here today. Zach, the runoff vote has been very one-sided. It is going to go not to Coulter Clark, but instead to Douglas Scalise today for driver of the day. All those positions gained. He did come through the field pretty solidly, 23rd up to 5th at the end of it. And I think he's got some fans out there cheering him on, certainly, as he's able to grab today's driver of the day vote, brought to you by the North American Racing League. I think that's still good. I think certainly I would have given it to Coulter Clark, or maybe even Cameron Combs, but hey, the fans have decided, Zach.
That they have. And Scalise is your winner of driver of the day. Iconic paint scheme, I'll say. Coffee beans on the race car. I do like that. That's kind of cool.
Definitely unique, just like everything here in the series. And glad to have Bully Dog Coffee Company on those race cars and on the series here in 2026. That will do it for us this evening. Oh, no, see? I'm going to keep doing it probably all season. That will do it for us this morning here at Pit Stop TV with the All American Racing Network. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll catch you all next time here on the channel, hopefully tomorrow night, for the NORA Retro Cup Series from Martinsville. Green flag back in the air. Brendan Maddox, Adam Buzzio, the whole field chomping at the bit. Green flag back in the air at Talladega. The Lucky Performance Overtime rules reminding you that if we get back around to the white flag, this race is official. Buzzio with a push from Dyer. Maddox with a push from Hughes. Zach, I think we're going to get there.
I think we will. Coming back around, Buzzio leads the group Through the tri-oval we go. No caution. Sam Dyer looks to the outside. 3 wide for the race lead. White flag is in the air, presented by Whiplash Simcams. Sam Dyer is all by himself on the top line, Andrew. There is nothing that he can do. He's going to start dropping back, and Brendan Maddox is out in front by himself. I do not want to have a gap that big.
We'll see how this one works out. Maddox moves up, now moves down. That checks up the bottom side. Here comes Buzzio. Here comes Camper. Here comes Plord, all on the top side of the racetrack. Maddox now going to try and fight back on the bottom with a push from Buzzio's teammate. That's Hughes down low, and Hughes isn't pushing the 8. Now he gets there from a push from Mason Houseman to the stripe. It's going to be a drag race. Adam Buzzio. Dakota Camper. He's going to look down to the inside, and Camper is going to shove alongside of the 5. Dakota Camper, maybe. No, Buzzio's got to win this season.
Oh my goodness, what a finish.